What's going on? Welcome to another day of mobility. Find yourself a nice comfy spot on your mat. And let's get ready for some me time. Let yourself settle into a nice pace of breath. A nice depth of breath. It helps you feel nice and relaxed. Let's just slow everything down and mentally go to your happy place. Let's focus on direct net air in around that belly, feeling that belly rise in the inhale. Slowly letting go of that breath through the nose on the exhale. Today's routine, we're focusing on the hips and the neck. So we'll take a quick scan around those hips. Just feeling for anything that feels like it's carrying some tension. And on your next exhale, just imagine exhaling that tension. Feeling those tissues just deflate like a balloon. Just letting go of all of that tension. Getting nice and passive. Feeling your hips and your back just sink heavy into your mat. I'll take a couple of breaths in around the neck. Your next exhale, just relax through those traps. Feel your shoulders sink heavy into your mat. Relax through the cheek, your mouth, your brow. Just allow yourself to enjoy the moment. Let's take one more breath here. And as you let go of that breath, we'll move into the left glute. So let's grab that lacrosse ball and place it somewhere on the glute. Glute's a pretty big, powerful muscle. And if you know your typical trouble spots, you may want to start there. But do a bit of panning. Those trouble spots do tend to move, and they might change day to day. So really look for what needs attention. It might be the upper band in around where the butt meets the back. More the lateral side of the glute. Might be lower, might be right in the middle of the belly. Do that little bit of a search, and then once you've found that target area, do a little experimenting with how you're tackling that tension, what angle we're leaning at, how much we're leaning, and then adjust yourself into a posture or position you tend to struggle with. If you tend to struggle with your depth in squatting, just pull that knee into your chest to get yourself into that position of restriction. And then focus your attention back on your breath. As you let go of that air, imagine letting go of tension through those glutes. Just feel them soften over top of that lacrosse ball. Let's take one more good breath here. As you let go of that breath, we'll switch to the right side. So panning through that right glute, and again searching for what needs attention today. Might be that upper band, might be the outside, might be around that crease. Once you found a trouble spot, experiment a little with how you're addressing it, how much tension we're applying. Find yourself in a position that you do struggle with, and then just focus on getting passive through that hip and mentally turning off any muscle we don't need. There are some muscles, obviously, we need to hold this posture. You can fully relax through your face, through your feet, through your lower limbs. Just stay active where you need to and passive where you can. And then fall into that nice pacing of breath that helps your mind find calm. And let's take one more good quality breath, direct net air in around that diaphragm. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll shift our attention into the left QL. So the QL sits along the outside of that lower back, your erectors, and it spans between the ribs and the pelvis. So anything along that band is fair game. Just look for what needs attention today. We find it helpful to lift your right side off the mat. So we're directing that pressure towards the spine to really get into that specific area that we're looking to target around that quadratus lumborum. But the best feedback for you is going to be how your body's responding. Everybody's a little different. So just be sensitive to your body's response and use that as your feedback. And use that to fine-tune what exactly this exercise looks like for you. And once you're there, just focus on going back to that happy place, mentally relaxing, getting nice and chill, and letting those chill vibes just spread through your whole body. Let's take one more breath here. As you sigh out that breath, we'll shift to the right side. So taking our attention into that right QL, panning along the muscle area, looking for what needs attention. And again, if we lift that left side slightly off the mat, that'll help you angle into that QL a little more directly. And if any of this adds pain or discomfort or numbness, we just need to ease off on that tension. Always listening to your body and feeling out what it needs. In certain days, that body will need more or less tension, so always be sensitive to that. And that said, always trying to be mindful of being progressive. So when we can, when there's opportunity, when we're not into pain, just going a little bit more aggressive into that pressure, just start working those tissues a little deeper. And then every chance we get, focus on getting passive. As you exhale, just a feeling that QL area just mold around that lacrosse ball, submitting to that pressure and allowing for better movement. Let's take one more breath here. And as you let go of that breath, we'll take our focus into the neck. So lying flat on your back, we'll just use the fingertips here around the left scalene area. Scalene, sternocleidomastoid, just the left lateral side of your neck. And if you're not familiar with the anatomy, don't let the names throw you off. Don't worry about being on the exact target area. But if this is new, just go nice and easy, err on the side of light tension until you get more familiar with your body and what it needs. Just gently running the fingertips, so your thumbs in around that outside of your left neck, looking for areas of tension. And once you've settled into that right amount of pressure, focus on being as passive as you can through as many muscles as you can. When we use the fingers, obviously we're more active with the upper body. We can totally turn that lower body off and keep it nice and passive. And also stay relaxed between those ears. Mentally finding your happy place and letting go of any stress, any tension, and just enjoying the moment. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly let go of that breath. We'll take our attention to the right side. So again, starting nice and easy, err on the side of going easier than you think you need to, especially if this is new. Just gently running those fingertips or your thumbs along the right side of your neck. And again, experimenting with the depth of pressure, the amount of pressure, the angle. Use the video as a guide, but use your body as your feedback for fine-tuning exactly what your body needs and what it will respond best to. You are the master of your body. The more we do this, the more familiar we get with the body, the better we get at zeroing in on what needs attention in order to free us up for better movement. And every chance we get, focusing on directing good quality breaths into the body, those diaphragmatic breaths, feeling that belly rise in the inhale, slowly letting it seep out on the exhale, just staying nice and chill. And let's take one more good quality breath here. You can slowly let go of that breath. And we'll sit up and move into some neck circles. So let's start by bringing your chin towards your chest, gently dragging your chin out to the side towards your shoulder, gently tilting the head back, working your way across its range of motion back to your opposite shoulder, and then dragging your chin back to center, and then starting back in the opposite direction. You can continue at your own pace, your own depth, just being conscious to not get into pain or any pinchiness. Work within your pain-free range. As we work our way through, just being slightly more aggressive as your body can handle, at working into the corners, the outer limits of your neck range of motion. Let's give a tiny bit more force here to finish up this last rep. Making those neck muscles work into those outer limits. And we'll sigh out that breath, and we'll transition into a lumbar traction. So we'll again demonstrate the lumbar just hanging off the edge of a box. If you're familiar with other options for traction and confident with those, you can scale up or down on these if you need to. Just being conscious to how your body's responding. When we do traction, our lumbar spine, we should have zero pain, zero discomfort. This should feel nice. It should feel a little pressure release on that low back. And if there is any pain, just easing off on that tension, finding a version of this stretch that feels right for you today. And all we're looking for is a subtle separation between our upper and lower half to give that lower spine a little bit of breathing room to open up for better movement. Let's take one more breath here. And as you sigh out that breath, we'll transition into a left Fragan stretch. So we'll start in an extended lunge position and kickstand that back right knee towards your midline, or the right foot towards your midline. And there's a few directions you can take this depending on what needs attention for you. We ideally want to hit a little bit of groin and a little bit of hip flexor. If the groin needs work, just angle your torso in between the knee and your lead foot. And the further you lean further frontwards, the more we hit that hip flexor. Find that happy medium. Find the stimulus that feels right for today. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active by attempting to squeeze and shrink the space in between your knee and your lead heel. And let's go ahead, starting with nice, easy tension, attempting to reverse that stretch, increasing tension as we go. Really squeezing here to finish up. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse that. Imagine trying to spread the knee and foot further apart, pulling yourself deeper into that stretch. Really squeezing here towards the end. 3, 2, 1. Let's let go of that breath. Get nice and passive. Submit to the position. Focus back on your breath. Help yourself find calm. Turning off any muscle we don't need, relaxing through the face, through the head, through the neck. And one more breath here. And as you let go of that breath, we'll transition to the right side. So stepping that right leg forward, kickstanding your back leg towards the midline, finding the right position of your torso that gives you the right feeling for today. There'll be a little bit of external rotation, a little bit of groin stretch, a little bit of hip flexor. And use the video to guide you, to let your body, again, give you feedback for what version of the stretch is going to work best for you today. And once you've found that position and that posture, settle back to your breathing. Help your breath guide your mind to relaxing. And let that relaxing vibe, those chill vibes, just seep throughout your whole body. And in 10 seconds, we will gently get active here. And again, imagine shrinking the space between your knee and your lead heel. And let's go ahead. Starting with nice, easy tension, just gently attempting to reverse the stretch. Ramping up tension as we go. Really squeezing here for these last 5. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeezing in the opposite direction, attempting to pull yourself deeper into the stretch. Really squeezing here, ramping up tension. Big tension here to finish up. 3, 2, 1. Let's let go of that breath. Get nice and passive. Submit to the stretch. You may find you're in a slightly deeper position. And if you are, great. And if you're not, just continue to be patient. Once your body's ready to get there, it'll get there. Continue to trust that process. Let's take one more breath here. As you let go of that breath, we'll work our way to the feet into a standing straddle. So spreading those feet nice and distant apart. Find that stretch through that inner thigh. And then hinging through the hips with your palms towards the floor. And if you can reach the floor, great. If you can get all the way to the elbows, great, or all the way to your head. Whatever level of flexibility and range you have that is pain-free for today, let that be your position. And once we're there, just focus on getting comfortable in that position. Relaxing through those hamstrings, through your groin. Maintaining a nice pace of breath that helps you stay relaxed. And just enjoy the moment. And in 10 seconds, we will slightly get active through the groin by attempting to reverse the stretch and squeezing the feet closer together. And let's go ahead, starting with nice, easy tension. Imagine shrinking the space between your feet, squeezing through the groin, ramping up tension as we go. Let's finish with big tension here at the end. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Attempting to spread the feet further apart. If you've got a slippery surface, they may actually physically move apart. Otherwise, just trying to move them. Actively pulling those feet further apart, ramping up tension to finish. And let's let go of that breath and just relax into your basic standing straddle. Finding that pacing of breath that helps you relax and live in your happy place. Getting as passive as we can. Enjoying the moment. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And that is a wrap for today. The rest of the day is yours. Hope you enjoyed the routine today. Hope your hips and your neck are feeling great. If you like the routine, remember to subscribe and like. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.